Sawyer's daughter is in Israel. She wasn't there, but Aaron, who you saw in the movie also, came to this meeting at the, what's the hotel in Central Park South at the bottom? Which one? No, the nice one, the Trump Summer. That's what it is. So, but the funny thing is we're all big strapping guys. So Ed Zwick is this little guy. So he opens up his hotel room because it was in his suite, and we just walked in there. You know, it was like a barnstorm. In fact, he called it the Bielsky barnstorm. And he said to us that he was working on this film for 10 years. And we had no idea. In actuality, there was another film being done. Those years were just unbelievable. Warner Brothers was coming out with a film. They had not started to shoot yet. And they just named Russell Crowe to play my father. So as soon as they released that news, Ed Zwick immediately jumped out and got the movie made. So Zwick's movie is based on Defiance, a book that was written by Muhammad Tech, who was a college professor at the University of Connecticut. And the Warner Brothers movie was based on a book called The Bielsky Brothers, which was written by Peter Duffy of the New York Times. And so basically Zwick killed the Warner Brothers project. And they shot, I mean, they put this film together very quickly. It was filmed in Vilnius, Lithuania. Vilnius is about 50 kilometers away from where everything happened. So it's actually the same contiguous woods from Belarus, right in the middle. So they didn't have to build any sets. Everything was filmed outside. They made a decision that they were going to start, they wanted the entire movie to be shot in the woods. In the beginning, they shot a scene, the opening scene, which was not shown, which was cut, was Daniel Craig as an old man in Manhattan. They actually shot it here in the city. And he was a taxi cab driver, and he picked up an old man in the street. The old man got into the back of the cab and saw the hack license on the back of the cab and saw my father's name on it. And then he went back into the woods. He said, "Go TUVIA." He went back into the woods because the guy who got into the cab was in the group and hadn't seen my father in 40 or 50 years. And that's how it was originally going to start. But they cut it out because they decided it should start in the woods and stay in the woods and end in the woods. And so that's how it is. But someday, somewhere, and I saw that scene, but someday we'll see that scene again somewhere. So when we met Zwick here in the city, he basically said that this movie is going to take a life of its own. That's exactly what he said. You know, we already knew how powerful the story was, because we were born into the story. You know, growing up as a child, people coming to visit on Shabbos, on Sundays, people would come to the house, knock on the door, and hug and kiss my parents. And I just thought that they were relatives. It's the truth. I even said it in the film. I always thought they were family. But the thing is that we are family. Even though we're not blood, we are all connected. There's a side of the show that is an enlightenment. And this is it. Because in spite of all the terrible things that happened, there was one tiny speck of goodness that occurred during this. And this is what you just saw. What I'd like to do is open it up to questions. You can take this anywhere you want. Ask anything you want. And then what I brought with me is a 12-minute clip of a new TV program that will be on next summer on cable about my family. So you're probably one of the first that will ever see this. So it's going to be a lot of fun, actually, because it shows my family in a different perspective. Yes, sir.
Well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions about Peter Taylor's life, but I just want to ask a practical question. In the movie, I was like, it can't be this is the way it happened, because it showed the Nazis finding them with an airplane, and then the Nazis just walk in, and everyone's like, oh my God, we have to move. And I always thought the partisans survived because they were always moving. There was not a shock when they had to move. They were constantly on the move. So I wondered if you know anything about the practical military aspects. Like they appear in the movie, they fight off a Nazi brigade, and they just had rifles. So how did they actually survive, and how did they fight off the Nazis when they got there?
One of the first things that was not true in the movie, there was Hollywood in the movie. That's for sure. Okay, because they had to sell a ticket here. There were no tanks in the woods. They never got the tanks. But there were those armed struggles where they did send the soldiers in. Now, when I was there, I've been to Belarus now many times, at least 4 times, to this place. And the Zidwankas that they built, that they slept in, 4 of them still remain. I was in them. They're still there. They were chased. Okay, there was a bounty on my father's head. It was 100,000 German marks to kill my father. So they went in from all locations. Now, when I went around the woods, we had a driver and a car. And when we would go from one part of the pushcha to another, it would take a half an hour to drive it. And these people walked there for months through the woods. So they went around. They came from all sides. There was no way to block off the woods. One of the better things that helped my father was the Germans were scared to go into the woods because they didn't know what was waiting for them. They never knew how many were in it. So that's how they did it.
And it was really Soviet soldiers in there with them also?
Oh, absolutely. It was, here's what happened. There were Soviet partisans. And my father had made the alliance with the Soviet partisans. And the Soviet partisans were getting their orders from the Soviet army. So if they did a joint exercise, which was, let's say, burning a granary down that was filled with grain, one of these big stacks, and they would burn it so there would be no food for the soldiers, the Russian bombers would come by and drop a couple of bombs right there. So they knew what was going on. There was definite communication between the Soviet army and the Bielsky group through the Russian partisans. Now, why is one of the reasons why the Bielskys survived was my father made a decision that they have to become useful to the Soviets. So that's why the first thing they built was an ammunition gun repair shop. So the Soviet partisans would come and be able to fix their guns and rifles in my father's group. So they were needed. They had a purpose. Now there was no money exchange, so how did they get paid? They got paid in arms. So they fixed 2 guns, they got 1. They fixed 10 guns, they got 2. And that's how it worked. Yes, yes.
Did your uncle?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Did your uncle?
No, it doesn't matter. We'll go one and then the next.
Was it true or Hollywood that your uncle was in the Russian army?
That my father, first of all, was in the Polish army,
No.
and my uncle did leave for a short time and went to the Soviet partisans. Those were partisans, those weren't actual soldiers.
So he didn't join the Russian army?
No, no. Yes.
I'll let you correct me in terms of what's Hollywood and what's not. Going through the scenes where first your father goes out and shoots the police officer and his family, less the wife, who shot your grandparents,
True.
who killed your grandparents.
True.
Then he moves on and spares the milkman, and then goes on to kill then after the milkman is killed, then the next thing he does is he kills Arkady. And
He did not, my father did not kill Arkady.
Oh, who kills Arkady?
Arkady was killed by his own people, by the Polish and the Belarusians. They killed him.
Okay.
And because they accused him, remember the sign that was on his body? Jew lover.
No, I'm talking about Arkady, the guy in the camp later, the guy who was,
Oh, that
who was
guy.
mocking.
That's because, I'm sorry, excuse me. I was
And then-
talking about Koshich.
Right, let me finish the line here. And then with the German who they brought into the camp and they start beating up on him and
He did
killing him,
nothing.
your father looks away in angst. So just if you could draw the sort of the connection and why your father chose to act the different way, these different ways in regards to these people's lives during this whole situation. And what's true and what's not.
First, what you saw in the film was the first 18 months of being in the woods for 2.5 years. This guy, Arkady, was killed on the day of liberation. My father ordered that when the Russians ordered the Bielsky group to disband on the liberation day, and they also ordered to bury all the guns and weapons so that the retreating German soldiers would not have anything to pick up as they were running through the forest away from the Soviet army. And this guy, Arkady, would not listen to my father and was carrying guns and weapons and leaving the forest. I told him, leave the stuff here, because that was my order. And he said, it's over, you're not the commander anymore. My father killed him.
And then how about the milkman who was there?
My father was not, this was not his mission. His mission was not to kill. His mission was to save. Okay? What started as saving himself and his family became a saving of Jews. Okay? It didn't start that way. He didn't wake up one morning and say, let's save the Jews. That's not how it happened. They lived on the edge of the forest. They knew their way around the forest. And as soon as they had to go to the forest, they did. And they hid in the forest. And as you saw, as people started making their way in, it grew uncontrollably. So they had to be supported. And he was elected the commander, and that's how it all happened. It didn't happen because that's what they wanted. They just wanted to live. That's it. Yes, ma'am.
What did happen?